that out. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to our podcast. I'm Acacia.
I'm Daniela.
And today we're going to be talking about our potential presidents, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
I think we're going to be going over their stances on certain views, like their views on certain current things. Like, one thing a lot of people are talking about is the taxes or like their abortion policies and just current problems and what they plan on doing with them.
Yeah, so I guess we'll get into what she's talking about. So there is talking about the debate. Let's talk about the debate. Kamala says that Trump wants a 20% tax on everyday goods that would cost families about $4,000 more a year, which is a true statement. He's proposed a universal 10 to 20% tariff on all U.S. imports, from cars to electronics to wine, food products, and many other goods. So he's not taxing the food itself, but he's taxing the transportation of that, which will indefinitely cause the prices of each of those to rise dramatically. The proposed import tariffs would unquestionably result in higher prices for American consumers across the board. It's clear that he wants to increase the tax on that. Kamala Harris calls it a sales tax, which was never formally said, but slightly implied. The increase is a large amount, indefinitely, and can cost everybody a lot more in this already higher-priced economy.
Some other things about the debate. Well, specifically on that, with the tax things, I know Kamala's stance was helping like small businesses and people that are kind of struggling with money. Like, the tax would help them instead of helping people who are already well off and already have a lot of money to spare. As for Trump, he would probably continue giving that money to big companies and people who don't really need more money than they already have. So if Trump was the leader, I feel like it was said that he would help make the higher class have more power, and if Kamala was president, she would want to help the middle and lower class have more power than they do. The people who are looking into cases like that, or his followers, they are very, like, whatever he says goes. So knowing that he has such an influence, he needs to watch what he says more, because things like that can lead to a lot of trouble for innocent people. Like when he made all those claims, like those very, very racist claims on Haitian immigrants, his followers ended up doing very drastic things that hurt a lot of innocent people because of what he said.
Haitian immigrants in Ohio.
They're eating the pets.
They're eating our pets, the cats, the dogs, all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. These rumors have been spread in Ohio. Specifically, Springfield, Ohio, is where Trump claimed that this was happening. Rumors that immigrants from, I don't know how to say that, Haiti?
I think it's he.
Haiti?
Maybe.
I don't know. Are stealing animals there and have run rampant after a series of claims spread wildly online, amplified by social media posts from leading political figures in recent days. One of the biggest evidence online is an image of a man holding a dead goose, taken not in Springfield but in Columbus, Ohio, 2 months ago. The resident who captured the image told ABC News that he was surprised to see his image used to push false narratives. This man was duck hunting, goose hunting. He was hunting, which is, one, completely legal, I think. I'm pretty sure that in his area it should be legal. Most areas it's legal, some areas it's not. Second of all, he is a United States citizen. He was born in the United States. And third, he's not Haitian. Yeah. He's not at all. And so I think that's absolutely hilarious. That claim is completely bold. I just I can't take it seriously.
Even though it's like such a ridiculous like conspiracy theory from him, a lot of his like followers were attacking Haitian immigrants and just doing kind of horrendous things because of what he said, and they just followed it and blindly believed that it was true. Which I don't know how he got that idea from a picture, but it just shows that he doesn't understand how much influence he has. So he'll act like very recklessly. He'll do reckless things and say reckless things without thinking of the consequences it'll have for other people because of his followers.
I 100% agree with that. Also, let's take a look into kind of like, because some of us might have a basic idea of what Donald Trump stands for, and we will get back into that. We'll get into that later, and we'll kind of get a little bit in depth about it. But let's see what Kamala's got in store. Let's see what she wants to do for America. Okay, first claim. In a convention acceptance speech focused on the economy, Ms. Harris promised mortgage assistance for first-time home buyers, a tax credit for parents of newborns, and bans on price gouging at the grocery store to help target inflation. See, on the outside, that sounds absolutely amazing, right? Mm-hmm. Helping first-time home buyers. We know how much homes cost, like, today. Worldwide, it is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It's almost $400,000 for a 3-bedroom house in the area, and they're not the best houses. They're not the best houses either. Yeah. They're fixer-uppers for sure. She said in this speech that her plans would create an opportunity economy where everyone's got a chance to compete and a chance to succeed. In the first interview as the Democratic nominee with CNN, Ms. Harris said that one of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class, a theme that's repeated on her campaign trail. I like that she wants to make the middle class more powerful, but I think in turn, since the high class is powerful already, right, making the middle class more powerful is going to leave the low class really, really low. And so, as much as she calls it an opportunity economy, that's only for people who've got enough money a little bit already. It's like enough money to live stably, but she's not giving that opportunity to the low class where they haven't had a chance yet. And I think it's a little weird. I think it's like, if you're going to strengthen the middle class, try to strengthen the lower class too. But, you know, it's not completely a bad thing. I think that it's good that she wants to strengthen something other than the high class. Because the high class already has enough power. They've got enough money. Some of them have so much money they don't know what to do with it. So,
I think Kamala was, she made a lot of good points. And, oh my gosh, whatever. Kamala made a lot of great points. She has really, what it seems like, really good views. And it just seems like the way she wants to do things would help a lot of people. But you also have to, dig deeper into what she says, because some of the things that she wants to do, like strengthening the middle class, could have, side effects on other people, like the lower class not having enough opportunities or enough money to do more with what they have, which, the middle class, I feel like they can pull themselves up more to higher class or just more opportunities than the lower class usually can. So if she were to, help anything, it could be with the lower class or helping, give opportunities out there for where people don't really get them, instead of, where people might get some, you know?
Yeah. Another thing that she stands for is she's held very progressively about healthcare, and she's kind of stated her opinions on the healthcare since early in her career. She's supported expanding publicly funded healthcare programs in the United States that cover the elderly, youth, people with disabilities, and the poor. I think that's amazing. The healthcare, it is insane. It's thousands of dollars just to see a doctor. And I think that's absolutely unacceptable. Like, a birth in California, I think it was California, a birth there without insurance costs between $30,000 and $60,000. With insurance, they bring that down about halfway to 15 to 20,000 to give birth to a child in a hospital.
Yeah. Where in other places it's like almost completely free. That's
Yeah.
Like out of country.
I just think that it's insane to have to spend that money just to have a baby.
And to make sure that they're safe and well.
Yeah. Vice President, the White House had healthcare successes. It reduced prescription drug costs, capped insulin prices were at $35, and they allowed Medicare to negotiate drug prices and capped out-of-pocket expenses for Medicare drug coverage. That's great. Like, someone with diabetes, you don't want to have to spend a bunch of money just to get insulin, which you need to live. Like, they need that insulin just to live. Like, imagine the only choice you had was to have a lot of money so that you could pay for something that you couldn't afford. Like, I think that's absolutely horrible.
And that's just like one of the many things they have to like have to survive.
Yeah. And it's just, oh my gosh. All right, day 2. Today, we're back. We're going to be talking about the social medias now. So, I found an Instagram post by Kamala Harris. I will edit that up on the screen. And it talks about, I'll just read it. Harris unveils new Puerto Rican policy plans in Philly campaign swing. And then it's got like, you'll see it on the screen. A Trump rally speaker thrashed Puerto Ricans. Harris reached out to them. Harris vows to launch Puerto Rico task force. Trump rally opens with insults aimed at Latino, Black, Jewish, and Arab American voters. Puerto Rico comments from speaker at Trump rally draw criticism while Harris's plan for the island gets Bad Bunny endorsement. Trump repeats enemy from within rhetoric at Madison Square Garden rally. So, obviously it's going to be biased because this came straight from Kamala Harris's Instagram. What do you want to say about that?
I think I've been noticing a lot on social media that Kamala Harris has been getting endorsements from singers like Charlie XCX. There was one with Eminem, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And now Bad Bunny. So I don't know if she's trying to get in with the younger voters, which I think could be smart, but also it's like, why would you want people who don't really have any political relevancy to be like campaigning for you? So it just kind of, she's trying to get with the younger voters, but it kind of isn't too good for her.
Yeah, I'm gonna add on to that. So I think that what she said was great. Something I would say is that I think it's good that she is targeting the younger generations because we're going to be the next voters for, the next generation. And, I think it's a smart tactic that she's using to work with singers like Bad Bunny and Charlie XCX, because that's going to make the younger generations kind of think like, oh, hey, she gets us. Like, I think that she'd be better because she understands our generation better and she understands what we want instead of what the old rich white men want.
Also, I saw that Taylor Swift was like endorsing her, and Taylor Swift like posting about voting for Kamala may have had an impact on registrations for voters, that it spiked up, and that a lot of younger people who were like really look up to Taylor Swift might also be following her footsteps and voting for Kamala.
It might not be the smartest to only go for that because you've got to focus on other political influences too. Because if you focus on both of them, if you go like 50-50 between political and public icons, I'll go with icons, And if you focus on both of that, you're going to get the younger generation and the older generation to vote for you, which I think would be a smarter tactic than Trump goes for the older political people and Kamala goes for just the younger, because it kind of like it's going to be like a balance, I guess, for each of them, but it's going to weigh, and so it's going to be like, wow, snap.
Yeah, I think she's really like leaning into the like, I don't know, the younger side. She's trying to be more influential on them and be more out there, which is really smart because a lot of like people on social media now, that's where they get all of their information. So seeing people that are blowing up and like you said are basically icons right now, like endorse her might make them think like, if this person that's so big is going for her, then she must be good.
Yeah.
Which,
and also on top of that, if she does that for like, you know, the famous icons, the other political parties might not take her as seriously.
yeah.
Because like singers, they're into politics. Everyone's into politics in some way or another, but
they're not very influential on politics though.
Yeah. And which is why you want to kind of get together and you want to get on the good side of other politicians, which will kind of help.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your video now?
I found a video by Blair White. She's very pro-Trump and stuff, but she made a few different points. Like, she was analyzing, she analyzed Trump's statement where he said, "We will not let our country be taken over," which kind of showcases strong stance on like law and order. And then she went over Kamala's contrast with, "We must confront the reality of the systematic racism." And I think her video was really great. She talked about many different things. She pointed out like Trump's faults, even though she is for Trump, she did point out his faults, and she did go over the things Kamala did that were good and that she thought were bad. And she kind of has a double way view. Like, she isn't very only Trump. She's very like pro-Trump, but she'll look at both sides equally.
So she's not too biased.
No.
She's like, I like when people bring up both sides of the matter instead of just sticking for one.
And she's really transparent too.
It's kind of like a thing that people do these days, you know? Like, people are going to hear rumors first, and then the first thing they hear is the thing that they're going to believe. And so when they hear the other side of the story, they either stay with the first one or don't know who's telling the truth, and they don't believe anybody. And I think that really sucks, especially because social media influences all the fake news now.
And that's when you get conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, and it's like the AI too. AI, all the fake news, nobody knows what to believe anymore, and they're not going to trust anything anyone says.
And like, you usually have to go straight to the source to like get all the information, which is hard now because...
And people don't want to do all the work.
Yeah. It's like you only want to watch the short videos, the TikToks, the posts, and you don't want to like do your own research to figure out what's actually true.
Yeah.
Or what's been like twisted around, you know? But I think that video, she pointed out a lot of things that Trump did wrong, like the very racist statements against the Haitian immigrants, or just his stances on things, but she also reflected them with Kamala's stances, and it's a good video if you want to see kind of both sides, but she's definitely leaning more towards Trump.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the description.
Thank you for watching.